Alright everyone, the video today is going to be on how to subdivide your frame space prior to adding things like pattern and detail to your frame. So you can see these examples of frame designs. I created the initial frame using a ruler, and then I subdivided these sections, so like left, right, top, bottom, into smaller areas that then I can fill with things like pattern. Okay, so that's kind of what we're doing here. These just happen to be symmetrical. They do not have to be symmetrical. They can be subdivided however you want. I don't know, if you want to be symmetrical about it, you totally can. Okay, so just as a heads up, sorry for the awkward video placement here. Okay, got a lot of things going on, lots of clay and stuff happening here. All right, so to create your frame design for your faux stained glass, I would just take a moment and trace the border using just the width of your ruler, okay? Keep it simple on yourself. We just want to line up the ruler with all sides and just take a moment to trace it. Okay, so what I mean by lining up the ruler with all sides here is just taking the edge of the ruler, pushing it to the edge of the paper. Okay, so it's lined up. And then I'm going to hold down my ruler, okay, with a couple fingers while I am tracing the edge with my pencil. Okay, and I'm going to do this for all sections. It's going to be a little bit harder because of my awkward stand here, so I'm going to do opposite sections first. Does not matter. I'm just going to line up the ruler with the edge of your paper. Okay, hold down your fingers on the ruler. Okay, use your pencil. Just go along the edge of the ruler like that. Okay, and then I'm also going to do it to the bottom section. Okay, lining up my ruler with the edge, holding down my ruler, tracing, and same thing here. Okay, now a couple of notes about subdividing. This is not for me a criteria. However, I do like the way it looks when students do some of the subdivisions before they add pattern. I think it looks, I don't know, like a little bit more organized overall. You can do it this way, you do not have to do it this way. Now, just through the natural process of lining up your ruler with the edge of the paper, you'll notice I have these 4 end caps here. Use them as a subdivision, don't use them as a subdivision, it's up to you. You could put a pattern in each one of these, that would be kind of cool. But again, it's up to you if you use them as a subdivision or not, okay? If you don't, you could totally erase this line. I'm actually gonna use them for my design, but you do not have to. Now, what I'm going to do at this point is just for each of these spaces, so top, bottom, side, side, see how the long side here, it's just a really big space to create one continuous pattern. I am going to divide it, okay? And I'm going to maybe make mine symmetrical, maybe I won't, who knows, okay? But I'm gonna create a little sort of end cap thingy here in the middle. Okay, remember, I'm not drawing anything right here, just working on the border. This is where my main image is going to go. And I'm gonna do the same thing on this side. Okay, so this kind of mid cap here divides these 2 long sections, okay? At this point in time, I think I'm going to create, I don't know, maybe some triangles here to subdivide the space further. By subdivisions, I mean larger shapes that I can fill with pattern. So it's kind of like I'm creating a larger frame design first and then filling it. It's actually looking kind of cool. Now I'm gonna make this subdivision repeat just because it's something that makes my heart happy right now. You do not have to do that. So see how I have larger shapes that I am then going to design around. Calling these shapes subdivision. Okay, I think I'm gonna do one sort of giant half circle here. And then I think I'm gonna create 2 down here. Okay, I'm sketching it lightly first. You can't even see it, hold up. Sketching it lightly first. There we go. Now that I have these here, I'll go over it a little bit darker with a pencil. Same thing up here. Okay, now I'm good with the amount of subdivisions I have here. I could totally keep going with this, okay? But see how this now gives me spaces in which I can create pattern, all right? So at this point in time, maybe I will do, I don't know, something that uses some stripes. Okay. I can do that inside of one of these shapes here. And again, keep in mind the following. Right now, I'm making these a little bit narrow for oil pastel. So I would probably want to, as you guys add your patterns in here, you want to keep that in mind. Oil pastel in most cases doesn't have a tip. So you want to create something that you can then blend two colors together. Okay, so I think I'm going to forgo that pattern on this side just in the interest of time. Okay, I could also create kind of large here. Hold up. Okay, a larger pattern, right? So I can get in here very easily with oil pastel. Okay, so again, something a little bit larger that repeats. Just keep that large and in charge. Should be using a ruler for that. I'm not really paying attention anymore. I think you kind of get the idea. Okay, so I don't have to create patterns in all of these areas, but it's easier if it's subdivided to create smaller things that repeat. Now keep in mind, as you're filling these with pattern, you don't want to go too small because you want to be able to blend multiple colors together, whether it's color into white, color into black, analogous color fade, or do that circular motion blending. All right, so consider subdividing your frame prior to adding some pattern, and then keep those subdivisions large and in charge. Okay, so all of these shapes could be easily filled with oil pastel if I needed to. And then also, as you add pattern in key places, make sure that is large and in charge as well. It'll make your oil pastel drawing way more successful once you start adding the techniques of the medium.